Have you ever wondered, what's the limit that I can fly my drone in? Like, what wind speed is possible? What happens if I go past the limit? My name is Johannes. I'm a professional drone pilot specialized in water sports, so I think I can help you out with this. This will hopefully help you to find out what you have to take into account when you want to fly in difficult conditions, how you do it, whether you should or should not do it. And yeah, you don't have to test the limits because that's kind of what I did already. This thing here, that's the DJI Mavic 3. There's a bunch of drones that do a similar thing. In the end, it's rather personal preference or the target what you do to make the choice what drone you want. But this video here is not a drone buying guide. This is really about how far can you push it when it's windy. So earlier this year, we went to Ireland for a shoot. And it was super sunny, it was no wind, it was calm. There was a bunch of boys just having fun and yeah. It was super cold, super wet, super... Every stereotype about Ireland would you imagine. It was beautiful. So yeah, according to DJI, the maximum limit that you should fly this drone in is 23 knots. Yeah, the wind was 100% way above that limit, but that doesn't mean it's impossible. So the first thing when I go somewhere is I want to know everything I should know, because it doesn't matter if you lose the drone, if you have to buy something new, but the real thing that matters is you don't want to put any other person at risk. One really important thing you have to consider when you fly the drone is where is the wind coming from. So it's not only how strong is the wind, but where is it coming from. In this case, I was standing on the cliff here. The wind was coming from the back, going straight into the ocean, which is all the way over here. And then the drone was flying here. Yeah, that makes sense. So ultimately, if I want to go back and change the battery, I will fly straight against the wind, which means if the maximum speed of the Mavic 3 is 65 kilometers an hour, and you have 40 kilometers of wind, the actual speed that you're traveling back is 25 kilometers an hour. I'm a great mathematician. So, so they just launched, they're driving out there. I'm driving to a potential drone spot. Let's see, as the wind is pretty damn strong, but it looks really epic. Wow. Swell right there. Cuddy and Sunny are already outside. There's some paddlers going in there, and I'm trying my luck with this here, even though it's pretty damn windy. Let's see how it works, but it's already fucking exciting and crazy people, crazy, really nice locals, amazing landscape, and yeah, enjoy.
Sally's just started carrying, and then so is Will.
Alright, I'm getting out there. Alright, drone is up. Bar's handling it well. Let's see what we're getting.
This is how you don't catch the drone?
I was pretty hyped, and honestly I wasn't even sure if I could fly the drone. Wind can do a lot of weird things that you also don't want. So you really have to take that into your equation when it comes to battery life, because you don't want to run out of battery when you're above water. That would be very, very suboptimal. So what I do in these kind of conditions, when I know there's really strong wind, and I've been flying in strong winds that are above the level that DJI claims, so I already knew it's possible to fly, but I just didn't know how it behaves from a certain level. So I knew, all right, when I'm at 50%, I'm gonna fly back home, because when there's something unexpected, super strong wind, whatever, then I don't want to be in trouble. Yeah, of course I was gambling and I was flying lower than 50% and I got in trouble. So what happened was I was flying back. Remember, the wind is coming this way and the drone's going that way. I was flying back, full throttle, 65 kilometers an hour if there's no wind. And I was going -10. So being a great mathematician, I knew, bad, very bad. It's 75 kilometers an hour of wind speed. And what was happening is that. So the battery was going down. It was already below the level that I agreed to with myself, and the drone was being dragged out into the ocean. So I was thinking, well, great, perfect. What I then knew is, all right, I have to do something about this, and the only thing what I could imagine could work is if I cross the wind. So I'm not aiming to, if we turn that land, I'm not aiming to fly back here, but I will fly there. So I don't have to fly straight into the wind. And I thought, well, then I can emergency land a bit more downwind and then run for my life and try to save that drone. And how it worked was pretty unpleasant as well. And because suddenly it was not really a gust anymore, I just knew, well, it's kind of the average now. Like as soon as the gust was gone, the travel speed was like 5 kilometers an hour. And I was thinking, well, even if it stays like that and I can make progress, the progress is so small that eventually the drone would just... Yeah, in the end, I was a bit lucky because I noticed, and it's quite hard in such a quite stressing moment to not be stupid. And then I noticed, well, I'm actually like 10 meters up in the air. So I thought the last thing I can try is flying super low. And that actually worked pretty well. There was quite a lot of a wind reduction. And yeah, so I got the drone back. I want to take a moment to thank Montkush and Oxiclean for sponsoring this video and also the trip that we did back then. I expand my battery life up to 10 hours straight by using CBD oil for this drone, and to get rid of all the filth and all the dirt and all the disgusting stuff, I just use Oxiclean. You need to get that stuff. Get it. Okay. So summarizing, how much wind can you fly in? I cannot give you the exact answer because I've never pushed it until the drone really like drops out of the sky or whatever happens. But I can tell you, if you know how to handle wind and you know the risks and you just know, depending on what angle the wind is hitting you, how it affects the drone and the drone's speed, the drone's battery life, then this thing is a very remarkable thing. Of course that differs. This weighs like 900 grams. If you go with a DJI Mini, for example, they weigh 249 grams. So of course it's very likely that they will struggle way earlier because they are a lot smaller, lighter, and so don't push them as far. I can definitely tell you that the Mavic 3 is a beast in how much it can handle. So I've pretty much been using it constantly in the conditions that you will find all over the manual of the Mavic 3, of the scenarios that you should not fly this drone in. And I've done that with one drone for 1 year straight, and it didn't have any signs of anything. If you have like a cinema drone that is way bigger, the risk you take in case that thing drops and would hit somebody on the head, it's much more risk involved. So I really like this one. The one that I used in the shoot in Ireland was actually not this one. As you can see, didn't have the wrap and it had green propellers, but that wanted, the old one wanted a career change and took different parts working as a submarine at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. Thank you for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it. Next time, I have no idea what's coming up, but it's going to be good. You never want to miss out one single video of this because otherwise you make the whole world feel bad and you don't want to be a bad human. No, honestly, I really appreciate it and stay tuned. Thank you for watching.